In the second half of the 19th century, oil was not power, it was chaos. Crude oil had been discovered beneath the soil, but its meaning was still unclear. No one truly knew what oil was worth or what it could become. Wells appeared overnight, carved into the ground wherever land could be claimed. Prices surged and collapsed without warning. Fortunes were made in weeks, then vanished just as quickly. Oil flowed out of the earth faster than anyone could control it, faster than it could be refined, transported, or sold. The problem was not scarcity. The problem was disorder. In those early years, oil behaved like a curse as often as a blessing. The industry was fragmented, unstable, and deeply inefficient. Thousands of small producers drilled independently, each acting on instinct rather than coordination. Refineries operated in isolation, with each its own processes, standards, and costs. Transportation was unreliable. Barrels leaked. Railroads dictated prices without warning. Middlemen inserted themselves at every step, extracting value while adding risk. Nothing was synchronized. Nothing was predictable. Oil existed everywhere, yet it was constantly unavailable where it was needed most. It sat trapped in barrels, lost in transit, wasted through poor refinement, or priced out of reach by sudden volatility. The industry produced abundance, yet lived in scarcity. It was rich in resources and poor in structure. This was the world John D. Rockefeller entered, not as an inventor, not as a pioneer, not even as a man obsessed with oil itself. Rockefeller entered the oil business as an accountant, trained to see what others ignored. While competitors chased wells and speculated on prices, Rockefeller studied costs. While others focused on extraction, he observed waste. And while the industry obsessed over production, Rockefeller noticed something far more important. Oil was not failing because it was rare. Oil was failing because it did not move well. Rockefeller understood with unusual clarity that oil was not merely a resource buried underground. It was a flow problem. Every barrel had to pass through a fragile sequence of steps before it became valuable. It had to be refined, stored, transported, and distributed with precision. Any disruption along that path destroyed value. Any inefficiency multiplied costs. Chaos was not just dangerous. Chaos was expensive, and whoever controlled the flow would control the industry. Rockefeller identified the true bottleneck with surgical precision. The real choke point was refining. Wells could be sunk almost anywhere. The real choke point was refining. Every drop of oil, regardless of its origin, had to pass through refineries before it reached the market. Refining was where oil stopped being potential and became product. So Rockefeller focused there. He standardized processes where others accepted inconsistency. He reduced waste where competitors tolerated loss. He treated refining not as a craft, but as a system, something repeatable, measurable, and improvable. Costs fell, output stabilized, quality became predictable. But refining alone was not enough. Oil refined without storage was vulnerable. Oil stored without transport was trapped. Oil transported without coordination was unstable. Rockefeller began connecting pieces that others treated as separate businesses. He invested heavily in storage facilities when competitors ignored them. Storage absorbed shocks, stabilized supply, and protected against sudden price swings. He built distribution networks instead of relying on intermediaries. He negotiated transportation contracts that guaranteed volume and reliability.
Railroads, once unpredictable gatekeepers, became integrated components of his operation. Uncertainty was replaced with planning. Each decision taken alone seemed incremental. Together, they formed something entirely new, a system. As Rockefeller expanded, oil stopped behaving like a gamble and started behaving like an industry. Price volatility declined, supply became reliable, quality standardized. What had once been speculation slowly transformed into coordination. Rockefeller did not destroy competition through force or innovation alone. He made competition economically impossible. While others reacted to market swings, Rockefeller designed stability. While competitors fought one another for short-term advantage, Rockefeller lowered costs so deeply that rivals could not survive without matching his structure. And they could not match it because structure requires time, capital, and coordination. This was vertical integration before the term existed. Extraction, refining, storage, transportation, and distribution were no longer separate activities. They became links in a single, tightly controlled chain. The value was no longer in owning oil. The value was in owning the system that moved it. Oil, once chaotic and unreliable, became stable, and stability changed everything. Kerosene became affordable and dependable. Cities lit up at night. Factories extended their operating hours. Streets, homes, and industries reorganized themselves around a fuel that no longer behaved unpredictably. Oil transitioned from a risky commodity into critical infrastructure. Modern life quietly reshaped itself around this new reliability. But control came with consequences. Rockefeller's system concentrated power at an unprecedented scale. By controlling the flow of oil, he influenced prices, access, and survival across the entire industry. Independent producers disappeared, markets narrowed, barriers to entry grew invisible but insurmountable. Governments took notice, public opinion shifted, newspapers warned of monopolies, regulators questioned whether efficiency itself had become dangerous. The very system that eliminated chaos exposed a new kind of risk, one rooted not in disorder, but in concentration. Yet even as laws were written and trusts were dismantled, the structure endured. Because Rockefeller's true legacy was not a company, it was a blueprint. Pipelines replaced barrels, storage terminals replaced speculation, transportation networks became permanent arteries. Oil no longer flowed freely, it moved deliberately, carefully, systematically. The logic of coordination outlived the man who perfected it. Today's global energy systems still follow the same principles. Oil, gas, and power do not move randomly. They travel through carefully designed networks, optimized for stability, scale, and control. The same logic governs food, electronics, medicine, and data. Resources create opportunity. Systems create power. John D. Rockefeller did not dominate oil because he was the smartest man in the room. He dominated because he understood something deeper. When oil became a system, the modern supply chain was born. And this was File 02.